Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Eddie Hearn has said that he really doubts Joseph Parker's punching power. And of course, this is on the lead up to hopefully an inevitable clash, which should be next. All going well, it seems that everything is pretty much done right. I mean, how much further away could they possibly be? But Eddie Hearn has this to say. I just feel AJ's punching power and speed is underrated, and I'm not sure whether Parker has the artillery to do enough damage if there's a gunfight. If they are standing in a gunfight and they are trading up, then I have to pick my man all day, every day. But it's a very dangerous fight for both fighters. They have great styles for each other. Joseph Parker and his team will fancy this fight because he will know that AJ likes to stand and trade and get hit. So that is Eddie Hearn's statement. Now, okay. So Joseph Parker does have power, and I think Eddie Hearn is pretty much... There's part of me that's thinking, like, what's going on with Eddie Hearn, because he does seem to be almost egging Joseph Parker on a lot lately, you know, with starting with the contract, you know, like this 35%, which is what Eddie Hearn was originally trying to get him. Obviously, Parker's getting a little bit more. He's saying, you know, you're going to become a multi-millionaire, and if you come along, you will be the next star. You will be quids in for the rematch, and this, that, and the other. So he's almost egging him on. And now, of course, he's talking about Joseph Parker's punching power. And it ain't just this. He said a lot of things, which almost seem to almost try and get him to spur Joseph Parker on to go in there and try and trade and show Eddie Hearn that he's wrong, all this kind of thing. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that Eddie Hearn wants AJ to lose, because he certainly does not. But it does seem that Eddie Hearn wants to see a very, very good fight, a fight that we're all talking about for a long time. He doesn't want to see Parker on the back foot. He wants to see a gunfight. And I believe him when he says that he would pick AJ in a gunfight. Now, when it comes down to a gunfight, yeah, I think Joshua is more powerful than him, but he's not as fast as Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker does have a lot of power, although we haven't seen it over the last couple of fights. So, for me, I would advise against anyway getting into a gunfight with Joseph Parker. I would be totally against that, because anything can happen. All it takes is that one big punch. And of course, we have seen Anthony Joshua gas out a couple of times. So of course, if he's trading and this, that, and the other, inevitably he's going to be tiring out a bit. And maybe this is going to be one of the strategies for Joseph Parker, is to wear down Anthony Joshua and then try and catch him when he's on his back foot and heavy breathing, if you like. Almost try and do what Vladimir Klitschko didn't do, if you like. Although Vladimir Klitschko did try, just that he was a bit wary of getting hit back. Maybe he thought Anthony Joshua was playing possum, all this kind of thing. But anyway, I certainly wouldn't encourage Anthony Joshua to trade with Parker, and I wouldn't be encouraging Joseph Parker to trade with Anthony Joshua. One of these guys is going to get knocked out very, very early on if that's the tactics that they're going to go in there with. Now, Anthony Joshua is bigger and he is stronger. Is he more experienced? Maybe. He's more experienced of the big occasion, that's for sure. But of course, Joseph Parker has been in there with some very, very good fighters. And I will include Hughie Fury in this one, Carlos Takam, Andy Ruiz Jr., and of course Dimitrenko. I will include these guys because they all are very, very good fighters. And of course, with two of them, Andy Ruiz Jr. and Hughie Fury, he took away their O. He gave them their first loss of their career. Now, Joseph Parker, he isn't the prettiest fighter in the world, and his defence is pretty shoddy at the best of times. But I do expect, and I fully expect, Joseph Parker to be on his A game for this fight. But we'll have to wait and see with this one. But anyway, that's Eddie Hearn's statement anyway. So, again, he believes that AJ would win in a gunslinging fight. Drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.